back to back again. More episodes. TCP 228. We just finished up our NA Power Rankings. Now it's time to go into APAC because you can't just do half a region. You got to do the whole thing. Well, rather, you can't just do half of the regions available. You got to do both of them. The whole Overwatch League, all 20 teams, 13 done and dusted. I mean, some interesting takes in there, some spicy positioning in there. I do wonder how things are going to go for APAC, where, to be honest with you, there's a lot of tumultuous things happening among most of the teams. I'm not going to be too specific here. I want to leave a little bit out in the wind for people to guess. Although there should some of it should be kind of obvious, some of it maybe not. I mean, APAC seems pretty competitive this year. There's actually some stuff going on behind the scenes that is really crazy. I mean, we've all heard the Halo reports. It's still active as far as Chengdu's situation. No one knows what the real end result's going to be just yet. Certain teams are still finalizing things. Valiant haven't announced everybody yet. Guangzhou are missing a player due to injury. And, I mean, who knows? Maybe Jonah comes back to Seoul one day. Maybe Shanghai just randomly pick up another player because they feel like it. But, yeah, I mean, APAC does look exciting, though. I do think so.
Oh, without a doubt. Like, there's so many like new talents coming in. There's a lot to be excited about. If you're up at the gremlin hours to actually consume APAC. So cheers to you.
Or you're a classic VOD watcher. Yeah, you know, you're either watching it live as a European, or you're a monstrous VOD watcher. You're a VOD enjoyer, VOD consumer. Yeah, it's gonna be good. So, any housekeeping? We already talked about our NA rankings. Kind of got our feel for that one. A couple of risky picks in there. 5 less teams to talk about for this one, so it'll go by a little bit quicker. Maybe at the end we sort of talk about all the top picks a little across both regions as well, maybe, and just have a bit of a comparison. Yeah, I mean, even just looking at these 7 teams, just considering Chengdu's whole situation, the only caveat I'm going to add is by the time we finish our power rankings and it goes out, and then Chengdu's, I guess, decisions are made in terms of what's actually happening with their roster, things can easily change. I feel like our power rankings will be out of date as soon as Chengdu make their decisions right about what's actually happening. So for now, though, we can only rate and rank Chengdu based on what we can clearly see.
Yep.
Because you can't really predict what they're going to do. So
yeah, I factored in it a little bit. I didn't factor in the absolute dire situation that they are apparently in. So I did rank them down reasonably because I thought, okay, yeah, you're cost cutting, but like you're not going to rid everyone or like.
Yeah.
I mean, how does that even work? It's still a question mark in my mind, but yeah, not too terrible.
I didn't really rank them down. I might have dropped a position, but I didn't really rank them down because I didn't think that would be fair. Because it's too hard to know what's going on. Like, if I was to include all the Chengdu stuff behind the scenes, I'd rather just not even rank them and just put them to the side and say unrankable. Can't rank them right at the moment.
I felt that way.
It just wouldn't feel accurate. Yeah, just wouldn't be accurate. So I had to rank them in based on just based on the assumption that nothing changed, which is obviously not going to be true.
Yeah.
But it's the only thing we have to work with until we actually know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd have to put them in their own Chengdu zone if I was going to have to rate them accurately based on the all the commotion behind the scenes about their roster imploding. All right, shall we then? Episode 228, brought to you by Battlecrab, Refine Bean, Bronzebot Buhao, Chare, Commissioner Picasso, Chris R34444, Casher 67, Lolshin, Porkchop Sammy, Rick Sains, Volamel Smooth Nuts, and Your Misery. Let's get into rank number 7. Probably all going to be the same. In fact, maybe even the bottom 3 could all be the same. Bottom 4 might all be the same.
Yeah, maybe.
Is it going to be all the same? Is someone going to be spicy? Joe's known for a bit of spice.
I am.
Okay.
However,
All right, we're all aligned. I think all our three panelists here across both NA and EU, NA and APAC, pretty aligned as far as the bottom goes, and maybe the top as well.
Mhm.
Valiant across the board. No faith and no hill, huh? I see how it is. I see how it is.
It's not that there's no faith, right? It's just, and you kind of talked about this, I think, like, to use like some of your like line of reasoning with like Florida, there's only so much you can really do, right? Like there's only so much you can coach players. Like, as much as I respect the players, anybody who's signed to a contract, anybody who's like gracing the stage, like you get a base amount of respect. However, when asked to view in some objective sense these teams, somebody has to be last, and the pieces that NoHill has to work with just aren't good enough. Just isn't. This is the worst performing team, I think, in the league. I think that'll be difficult to kind of like show, just because of like they're really not going to probably compete with NA ever. But like, judging the form at the end of the season for the Valiant or the Spitfire or the Titans, like I do believe that like the pieces that the Valiant have just are not up to scratch. They just aren't.
Now, real quick, Easy Han did get announced recently for the Valiant. I don't know if anyone factored that into their ranking.
Nope.
But he was rumored. He was heavily rumored anyway, and all the rumors have so far been correct. So, well, at least they've been. Have any of them been wrong? I don't know. They, as far as like player signings goes, they've been pretty on point. Obviously the rumors of who's being looked at are in flux. So we had the rumor of Mike Haley being on this team. That ended up not happening, and Easy Han was next rumored. Now he has been announced. So seems like the ongoings behind the scenes about who teams are working on can be in flux, but probably was accurate as well. I mean, there's been evidence of Mike Haley actually being in the team facility. Anyway, my point is, Easy Han rumored and now confirmed on the team. He announced himself. The graphic was there. Of Team CC fame. So NoHill is kind of collecting a lot of Team CC members. Obviously, he has connections to most of the players on that team. I don't know if that factored into anybody's rankings here. I mean, I factored in all the rumors. I factored in Easy Han and Sash into this team.
Same.
I still had to put them 7th.
Yep.
And I just, outside of Dia, who is a standout player on this team, it is hard to give too much faith beyond that. They are fighting an uphill battle. I think the rest of the DPS is just okay. I don't have a lot of confidence in their tank at all. I was going to say tank line. It's one guy.
It's
so far. It might just end up being. To be fair, a lot of teams are only running one tank, but
true.
The other teams that are running one tank are running tanks like Fury and Smurf. So it's a little bit different in terms of play quality. Just saying. Coldest Linksa. I think Linksa is going to be great. Coldest has been not quite there for you. I don't know. I think they could be really good. This team has great punch-up potential. I feel like that's the tagline. You know, that's the marketing line we've been using for all these teams. At the bottom, it's like, oh yeah, London, Vancouver, Paris, and all these teams. Oh, great punch-up potential. You know, that's just that's what you put in the fucking brochure. That's what all we've been just saying on repeat. But
I believe
I don't know. We're also saying it because it's true, right?
Yeah.
So Valiant, yeah, cool. Another punch-up team.
Yeah. Don't you just wish they found like NoHill just like found $2 million on the corner and just like can get himself some players?
Bro, I think Chengdu wish they could do that too.
Yeah, same. I feel like there's probably a few teams that's just like, man, I wish I could just go like couch diving for some extra pocket change of a small loan of about $2 million so I can buy good players. That'd be awesome.
Oh man.
Yeah. It's unfortunate. I think Valiant are on the mend. You know, they're not as bad as last season. They're going to compete. They're going to win games, but power-wise, they're last.
There will never be enough money because I just sponsored my BPL fake Formula 1 team who are racing very soon. Well, by the time they're racing in under 8 hours. And half the team's budget, which was my sponsorship, got spent on one player, got spent on one driver. And then they didn't have enough money for the second driver. I'm like, bro, come on, guys. There's never enough money. So yeah, I mean, is it? I mean, what's the difference between this and sixth place? What would put Valiant in sixth place instead of seventh for you?
What would put Valiant in sixth?
In the power ranking?
Honest to God, if they were to like snag Sato, I would think about it.
So just like a better tank.
Yes.
Yeah, like I'm okay with like taking a gamble on Sashin if you have somebody else that like at least can like be fielded if he doesn't work out. The fact that you're gambling on somebody who like is highly rated on the ladder, like you can't discredit that, but hasn't played in is coming to a role that's like seeing so much like volatility and change. I can't trust that. I can't. So having Sato, I think would help push them above. I'd have to think about it, but yeah, I think that would be like where I would change. That'd be my point of contention.
So if they improve the tank line, you'd happily put them in sixth place instead of seventh. Just that's the missing piece for you.
I would say the tanks for sure.
Yiska, are you on that as well, or is there something else you want? You're looking for something else.
Yeah, I don't like. I think tank is the obvious one. I'd like to have a tank announced first and foremost.
Like just have one tank so far would be nice. Yeah.
Yeah. It's also I think like of course there's a lot to improve here. Theoretically, I'm not sure about Becky, man. Like maybe we can get some better guy in here. Like I don't know. Like for instance, let's say you now exchange Becky for a Prida because like Chengdu is falling apart. Do you feel significantly different about this team? I think I do.
Don't use that example because a Pritter is a hit scan player and Dia and Innovation already playing kind of that role. So Dia and Easy kind of you don't want 3 hit scans in one flex. You know, you wouldn't want to do that. But
yeah. I mean,
swap Easy Han for Pritter. That's a better example.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I think I wonder if they were aware of that potential like things changing up with Chengdu. But yeah, I don't know. Like, I want to believe more, and I think there is definitely potential where at least 2 other teams shit the bed. I think there's potential that, due to the situation, Chengdu falls below them. I think always you have to count on the charge to fumble the situation. But yeah, like, I wanted to believe. You guys heard me talk spicy pretty much all offseason saying, like, maybe mid-tier. You're looking at this team, and it's just like pound for pound, it's a problem.
Their punch up, I think they have some of the most crazy punch up because like the NoHill buff is real. Like my whole speech about like roster quality in regards to Mayhem, like that's a legit. I'll stand by that. You know, I'll die on that hill. But I'm not saying Valiant or Mayhem need to win a championship. That's not what they're going for. They're just going for way higher than expectation and way higher than the price of their roster would otherwise, allow them to. Right. Yep. So in that case, Valiant could be even like 4th place or higher in APAC. They could go to a tournament. They could beat a bunch of NA teams. Those things could easily happen. I mean, for fuck's sake, we saw a funny screenshot on r/CompoW today of like, Team CC beating O2 Blast in a best of 7. And that team has Innovation, EasyCon, Someone, Wuhao, Super Rich, and Aim God. And they beat Proper Kilo, Jimbin, Max, Vindame, and Finn, like some of the hottest rookies coming in. And O2 Blast lost that game to two players who are now on Valiant. One of which is a coach on Valiant. Someone who's on Mayhem, another low-ranked team. Super Rich on Hangzhou, which is a low-ranked team. And Aim God on Philly, where everyone thinks Aim God just sucks. And that team just beat Proper in the screenshot. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
You have to, when you think about it like that, that's kind of crazy. So
I mean, it is.
The potential is there. I mean, the roster quality isn't even that bad, is the thing.
No, it's not. And but like when you look at it compared to like the people, like their ranking neighbors, it's like I trust those teams more to do more over the season. I trust the DPS line to at least compete. And I think that's where Charge like really sticks out for the most part. Like I've seen Coldest, like I watched him in contenders, like is good. Like, but he hasn't, like, it's just been spinning his wheels for the longest time. I've seen Dia fucking God knows how long, and like he's always been performing, right? Like he is the beacon of hope for this team. If they can get over the line, it's off the back of Dia. But there are some big gambles this team has to like hit pay dirt with to see them like again punch above their weight.
Am I crazy that straight away I'm already unhappy with my 7th place ranking just because I know they can do so much better than 7th?
Yeah.
I think I was far more comfortable with the Vancouver London placement in NA. I'm like, yeah, that sounds probably about right though. Here it's just like, man, I could just be so wrong. I could be so wrong about the Valiant so easily. It feels like we're already in the New York territory and we've only done one team.
Yeah.
So, shall we do 2 teams? Head into 6th rank now. 6th place in APAC. What do we have? Is it all the same again? Is this going to be a boring power ranking where we all agree?
Certainly
don't
no
say. Don't say.
To be fair, our NA ranking bottom
did start off the same way. That's true. That's true.
It did start off the same way. But our APAC rankings are all going to end the same way. So
yeah,
you know, is it the choice Juan injured? Is it the lack of players on this team? What's going on here? Is it lack of faith in the Guangzhou organization? Don't forget they're trading Choice Juan with Chengdu for leave, so they're about to get
right.
leave, which means you have to put this team in number 1. So you know what's going to happen.
Imagine,
what's the story,
bro.
guys?
Oh my God! Can you imagine being Choice One in that position? But your team's finally your team is finally about to get some like coexistent firepower, and you're the guy being traded for it. That must suck.
Yeah, then your team gets even more firepower, but then they lose you. That is what it is.
Ugh. No.
Leave just goes down the street from the Chengdu facility to the Guangzhou facility. They're both in Guangzhou for what it's worth, even though Chengdu is Chengdu on the name. Okay, memes aside though, this current team of 7 members, pretty low confidence, less confidence than number 5. I mean, why?
Yeah.
Why are we here in 6th place? So we think they're a bit better than the Valiant.
Yeah.
Or maybe they're a lot better than Valiant, but not quite enough to get 5th place. Not quite there.
I mean, you look at the like when we look at like power rankings, it's tough to not weigh like on paper strength as much as like there are some intangibles with some of these APAC teams that like I cannot trust them as far as I can throw them, right? And I got like 12 or 15 players and a coaching staff to hurl, right? Like that's pretty hard, right? I look at the Charge, there's already questions about Choi. I think he's gonna play, but
just don't know when.
Exactly. The situation that he's in already draws some suspect looks. Like, if that wasn't the case, do they squeak up? Maybe still not, but they have a better chance to, right? That injury for Choi is definitely like keeping them in 6th. I think they could like their range is like maybe to 4 if he plays well and like it's nothing to worry about and like they hit their stride. But just on paper, when you compare like the Charge to like some of their neighbors, it just doesn't stack up. Like
of which they have many, because
yes, everybody
most of the Chinese teams are actually based in Guangzhou. So
yeah, Again, it comes down to like just individual pieces. The Charge is closer than the Valiant, but still, it's a little off the mark.
I actually like. Am I crazy? I actually think the Valiant support line is as good, if not better. I know Charge of Molly.
Yeah, but Unique, you're kind of sus on.
But no, I'm not even that sus on Unique. I just think Linkser just comes off of a great year on Chaser. Coldest, if he gets to play to any of the potential he had, when he first joined the Spark in terms of being Chinese Jonak. You know what I mean? Like, if he gets to anywhere near that level, then Link's Coldus is a great backline for the Valiant. Potentially more exciting than Molly Unique. Maybe I'm underrating Molly a little bit here in that regard. At least equal. I won't say better. We'll say at least equal.
Yeah.
So the difference to me is Rio Krong I have above Sashin.
Yeah.
Especially as a solo
You kind
tank.
of have to, yeah.
And then develop Choi Eileen. I mean, versus Dia, Innovation, Becky, Easy Khan. Bro, I'd probably take the Guangzhou core. I'd probably take the develop Choi Eileen 3. Even though I really want to take Dia. I think the develop Choi Eileen core is a little bit better as a DPS line. Now they have and they have more players to build from as well, so they have a little bit of redundancy. Whereas Valiant have 4 DPS and 1 unannounced tag. So from my perspective, that's probably why I have Charge above Valiant for those reasons.
Dude, like, I feel it in my bones. I feel like Charge could be one of the biggest benefactors of this whole Chengdu thing. Like, okay, let me pose that hypothetical to you. Who do you get out of here if you can get Gaga? Is it just Rio?
I don't think. First of all, I don't think Chengdu get rid of Gaga because he's their only tank. He's their only tank. That's not the guy Chengdu's cutting.
I think
if you want to play hypotheticals,
sign someone else.
If you want, yeah, I guess Silver 3 is available. If you want to get like real hypothetical, then I suppose you have to get rid of Rio to make space for Gaga.
Mm. Yeah,
I would say so. I don't even really hate that, to be honest. Do I? Yeah, I don't hate that. I really don't think it's like that wild. Like Rio, I think is just like is reaching for like playtime at this point. Like I think he's there to fill some shoes, and I wouldn't be surprised if Krong couldn't do it better. And then you look at somebody like Among, who like has his heroes, right? Like he's gonna be like a performer on like Wrecking Ball. Like I guess historically he's played a little bit of Orisa, but like it feels more like he's a weapon rather than just Rio, who's like filling a role. Like it's just a body. It's just like they're like he's just kind of like fluff, right? I don't hate that move, to be honest with you.
Are you talking about Yiska? Are you talking about what would propel Charge to 5th or above for you? Is this what this is about?
Yeah, and not if you just look at the teams here, right? Who has the ability to support Chinese players? Who has had the bag in the past? Who has space? Right? Like, did Charge feel like the team that should be the likely destination for a lot of these like refugee-seeking Chengdu players?
They and Valiant are in the best positions to receive.
Yes, but Valiant, are they going to pony up money when they haven't before? I think Charge is probably currently like trying to see how much investment they can feasibly pony up. I think if that is happening, we're about to see a lot of people mirrored in this team.
But for now, without that,
yeah, for now,
just
they're not that,
they're
not that exciting, to be honest. I kind of wanted to be spicy and put Valiant ahead of them because I don't think the difference is that large, but at the same time, I mean, they still have some solid quality here, right? Like Eileen, Choice One, Develop,
right.
Krong in old shape. If there's Sigma metas, like Molly Unique, that doesn't sound too bad actually. But then again, like, it's hard.
So let's talk about a team that is a bit more exciting and one place high in the rankings, 5th place. Pull it on all that out there. It's 3 Hangzhou spot. Yiska. No, you ruined it.
God.
You ruined it.
Oh,
you were supposed to put the Hangzhou Spark here. You were supposed to put the Hangzhou Spark here. You've ruined it.
Well,
so this is
if nothing else, me assuming that this team is going to be gutted and still better than the Valiant and the Trash.
Wait, so you think? Hang on, didn't we just have a discussion about the fact that the likely destination of a lot of Chengdu cutoffs end up on Guangzhou and Valiant?
Yeah, theoretically,
still have them
possible.
lower than Chengdu.
Well, okay, the yes, it is a likely situation. It could also just be international. I think the second most likely destination where it would land is actually the Philly Fusion. Interestingly, so I feel like, yeah, of course, like if Charge gets leave, it's over, right?
You'd have to get Chinese players into Korea, and I don't know that'd be very easy right now.
Do you have to?
True.
So,
or can you just play on ping?
I mean, do you want to do that?
It's not ideal.
You want to do that? It's not about just the ping, man. It's about like physically being in the T1 facility.
Sure.
With Korean coaches and being part of the team culture. You don't get any of that. You have this one Chinese guy who is not physically in your country, doesn't speak your language, is playing online from China, and you're in Korea.
That makes sense if you only think about this season and not about the bargain deal you might be getting.
Sure. It is a play for the future, undoubtedly.
And that's especially for a team that still has academy. They like the precedent is set for them planning long term, right? Like basically T1 is like an MN3 incubator thing.
You're doing such an ultra long term at this stage. I don't know. Let's focus back on Chengdu a little bit here. So you have a completely gutted Chengdu.
Well, okay, let's be honest.
Still higher than Charge and Valiant. Still higher than Charge and Valiant.
I think Chengdu was very clearly for me never going to be top 2, even at top strength.
Yeah.
I don't have them striking as high as this season. I think I'm way more skeptical about this team without Ray.
Sure.
I think it's very like the pattern there is very clearly apparent. Without any turmoil whatsoever, I think they got pretty lucky in the meta that they were able to run. I think Chengdu in my mind is the following. Yes, you have a couple of crazy skilled players. The problem is when you're running a style, the best you unless you're Dallas, right? Like Dallas level crazy at this. If you're running a very unorthodox style that generally speaking isn't that competitive in Overwatch, you're probably upper midfield or lower top field. You're probably not like top. Right? But if your meta rolls, and suddenly you have Wrecking Ball metas, and you have like Tracer metas, and you have like metas in which Jinmu can meaningfully contribute, that last year felt like a lot came together in order for them to be strong. So I think that's not a given. I think that a lot of metas, as proven by the Grand Finals performance, arguably, or not Grand Finals, but playoffs, that they are actually quite vulnerable to these situations, and they were kind of lucky that their composition was sort of the strongest. So once that is no longer the case, I think they're upper mid, but not as good as my top 2. And I think it's hard. That DPS line is just like nuts, right? I think it's a self-runner. Had I not considered that, you probably have to put them above Fusion in like 3rd place. Yeah.
Alrighty.
Yep.
John?
So the spark, huh? The
spark.
Again, we talked about this with the Justice. I alluded to this prior. It's a team that brings a lot of good stuff to the table, but for whatever reason cannot, string wins together to save themselves they can't string W's together to get them out of a pit hole, right? Like I want to put this team higher. Like I really would love just on paper. I think they not only compete with their neighbors above them, but like maybe even punch above them, just individual pieces alone. At least in my opinion. Um, but I struggle to see it in the long run, right? Like I think this game script wise probably plays out like it did last season. They're gonna have a good stage. It's gonna be like, oh shit, here comes the spark, baby. 4-0. Whoop! Like here, this is it. Back up the shy bus, Alpha E's coming in hot. Like it's all hands on deck, and then they lose in like the playoffs, right? Like, and then they just kind of bomb out and they flake out to like some dumb shit, and it feels really bad, and they go back to being like kind of goofy. I want to put this team higher. I just can't. I need to see like some consistency before I really start to juice this team. On paper, individually, they're very, very talented, but structurally, I need to see a system.
I kind of broke my own rules here. On paper, I could be putting them high as third on paper. But I think I've just been so burnt by the Hangzhou organization that I've had to cop some negative points here because of their history. But I so desperately want to put them higher because I think they deserve, based on roster quality, to be higher. And that this is a team that, to be honest, I think all three teams so far are teams that like, this small tiny tweak or this team gets their shit together and their team doesn't implode and their coaches stay. Now they're suddenly, winning games here and there, and they're beating these teams that they couldn't otherwise beat. And now they're, getting better results by 1 or 2 positions. Spark is the most likely out of these three. So we talked about Valiant punching up, talked about Guangzhou having some potential, especially if Chengdu plays land on this team. Spark, just with who they have now, they don't need any additions, to be honest. They are full. You can't really add anybody here. They can immediately do better just from this position, and they are the team best equipped. Out of the 3 teams that we've listed between Hangzhou, Guangzhou, and Valiant, they are the best equipped team, the Hangzhou Spark, to actually get some major distance beyond and above where their current ranking is in 5th. Like, they are the most likely team to actually get a 4th or 3rd, or even fight for a 2nd, if things actually work for them. The problem is just that it's just a big F, because a lot of people were down on Chang'un because of his Seoul season on Seoul, where Seoul just continued to look average with him as the head coach. Spark's entire organizational management has just been in flux. I mean, you look at all of last year, it's just all a big joke in terms of what's going on with the Spark. It's just such a weird org because at least Guangzhou have held their shit together to win a title, even though things fell apart last year. At least Guangzhou won a title in 2020. Spark have just been an okay team the whole way through. And they've, on paper, had some really strong rosters and arguably even better than Guangzhou, but still fallen short. I'd hate to see Shy wasted on this roster, but I think there's a good chance that Shy, Alpha, Yi, and the rest of them come together and form a really strong core of 5. But it's the kind of team that I have to rate low and then see what happens. So in 5th they go.
Yeah, it's like a mid-season, like, put a pin in it. If they're up to their old antics, we're not going higher than this. But, like, mid-season revisions, like, Spark can be, like, the big egg on the face here, where it's like, oh, my God, this is it. They finally hit, the new regimes here. The system's in order. You have the pieces to be able to, like, really get into, like, the nitty-gritties of, like, the top 10 teams of the world.
Right.
And they're finally there. But until then...
So... let's see 4th place now. This is where Joe and I just maintain parity the entire way through. Yiska's already broken things up. Have we got the fusion across the board? We have. So Joe and I still on the same page. Yiska's doing his own thing now. You have diverged in your path. We just finished talking about Spark, so you might as well wrap us up on that conversation.
Yeah, I'm pretty hurt by Spark as well. I think, like, even in the past, they should have had rosters that are self-runners. Apparently, they actively are able to, like, handicap their teams into underachieving past their, like, perceived pound-for-pound level. I think that might be true once again this season, because pound-for-pound, they're better than Fusion. Visibly, I have not ranked them above. I just hope they find their groove again, man. Like this is once again, this is almost like a Toronto situation where, like, you clearly have the resources, even though your parent company just lost 1.1 billion, but it's one of those 1.1 billion where that somehow makes business sense because I think their stock was only reasonably down like a couple of percentage points up on.
I can't believe that's a real sentence. As
That
well.
is,
Like,
yeah, that is
1.1 billion down, but that actually makes a ton of sense. You know, like
late stage capitalism things.
That's a real sentence that you just
That's
got
crazy.
Yeah. And then I mean the same is probably true for Netflix at some point, right?
Sure.
But yeah, like I think generally speaking, that's an exciting team from the DPS side. I think I still don't get their tank line. If anything, I would have liked them to only have one tank in this position because a Gaga destination here would have been interesting. I think, if anything, they should probably like try to get one of the flex supports from Chengdu, probably far away if they can. The rest is just already like cracked out of their mind. Maybe you can like, eject a cheeky pineapple. I'm sorry, bud, but like, if there's other DPS on the table, you're picking a la carte from a Prita, Jinmu, and leave.
Yeah.
Then that's maybe an option. But like, yeah, overall, like if I'm just looking at this team as it's right now, like it's very the coaching in itself makes it very clearly like not top 3. I think the pound for pound, as we're going to get there, also only would make them better than Fusion. I don't think they are better pound for pound than Seoul and Shanghai.
Yeah, no, agreed. Am I going to break your heart and say that I wonder if Architect time is up?
Swatch? Yeah, man. No, it breaks my heart, but you're speaking straight truths. I hope it's like a Flatter situation where in season 2, I thought like that was as much as Flatter was able to give us. And then he came back in stellar fashion, of course. Man, Architect at some point when he left Shock was still an S tier DPS.
Yeah, agreed. And it's just like we haven't, and that's again like the tragedy of the Spark is like you mentioned in the team preview, they kind of just chew people up and like they really don't get spit out. They just sit there and they don't really do anything.
Yeah.
Like when you talk about, the Scrimbuck stock exchange and like what the meta maybe looks like, and we hear like, oh, Genji seems pretty good. Like my mind immediately goes back to some of those Apex stats, and it's just like,
yeah,
Architect should be there, but like then you have Alpha Yi and Pineapple kind of like has some of the hero pool. It's like, I don't know. I don't know. And it's sad. I don't know.
Yeah, Architect right now. Architect is like a Gucci mirror,
the exciting flex player on that team is Alpha Yi, not Architect.
Yeah.
It's just crazy,
That's sad. So, in some ways.
I mean, who knows? Hey, the Hangzhou coaching staff might be crazy. They'll just play Architect over Alpha Yi. To be fair, Architect got a lot of playtime last season next to Shy.
Yes.
So it's not like he was irrelevant, but he did have to buckle in for the Hangzhou train ride, whatever that looks like. Enough about the Hangzhou Spark, though. Joe and I have the Philly Fusion.
Yes.
And I'm really a lot more confident in their rookies than I think most people.
Yeah.
So I'm really kind of banking on that for them to find success. Now, the roster size is a little bit concerning. I think even just one extra player would make things a lot more comfortable, especially in the tank position. Actually, not even that. I think Fury would be fine. Maybe in the support position.
Yes.
Then again, we just did see a screenshot of Aim God beating Finn in the best of 7, so anything's possible. I mean, fuck it. I mean, at that point, maybe there's no issue. Maybe there's no problem here at all. Maybe it's all just a big lie. So,
I mean, I would be impressed if Aim God can like maintain like that season 1 performance when he had it on Boston. Like he was good. Like say anything you want about his intangibles or some of the things that his extracurriculars, if you will. He put up numbers, and like you can't argue with that, right? Like he gets on base, just does. And then you look at the rest of this team. You look at MN3, like I've scrubbed some VODs. This kid's nuts.
This is not meant to be a get on base team. Philly is not meant to be a get on base team.
No, he is a get on base player. This is not a get on base team. Like,
they are a get on base team now because they're using get on base players.
No,
If
no,
you
he's just
use
like
get
a
on base
role
players-
player. He's
If
just a
you
role
use get on
player.
base players, you are now a get on base team. That's how it goes.
I'm a European lost in this metaphor.
That's okay. You're fine. Watch a
European
movie.
lost this metaphor.
I think this is one of those teams that like, and I think you mentioned as much, Avril, like when we did the Philly preview. Like it feels very clear that like the budget is either being like backlogged or back weighted. Like we're just trying to
hang on.
field the minimum roster.
I need to check
then-
Comcast stock real quick.
Okay, go ahead.
That's what we do now. You have to check the stock. You have to check the stocks of these companies to evaluate.
Actual stock exchange. No, I think it's okay to have like role players, and that's what I look at the support line as being. Like you have to put your budget somewhere, and it's very clearly it feels like it's spent on that DPS, and I think that DPS trio is good as much as I do think it's a duo. I will be very interested, and maybe this is the season that Carpe, has a larger fire lit under him to like really chase after things, and like statistically, he is kind of an interesting player. This boy just doesn't die. Like that's the one positive. Granted, it's a really negative positive thing to say about somebody, but it's interesting because like not too many people can say that, right? Like not too many people can say that like they have like mid performances, but like they're like strictly not dying, and it's not really all that close. I think Philly have a lot to prove. It does feel like a rebuild year, but I could see them doing some big things. I do believe that.
Yeah, I think they have great potential. I think there could be more done with this team, but I don't hate what they have. I think people are probably a little bit down on Fusion because it doesn't look as exciting as last year. They're using way more rookies. X, Y, and Z. We lost all these great Western players, all that kind of stuff. And last season was a bit of a mess. So like, Fusion are in Korea again. What's going on? They're not in NA anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I think the T1 DNA in this team is good. At some point, you do have to kind of just acknowledge your academy team. Look, if you believe in O2 Blast, you have to give some credit to T1 because T1 came close.
Yeah.
So if you're someone that looks at Shock and like, great rookies, you must be applying the same logic to the T1 rookies. Otherwise, you're just not a consistent person. You don't have consistent opinions if you're not willing to apply that same logic to Philly Fusion as well.
Yeah.
So given that, you should be a lot more pleased about the Fusion roster than you are if you're not currently big on them, at least a little bit. I'm not huge on them. I don't have them in number one.
Yeah.
But I think I have them directly in the middle of APAC, being that, could they maybe slip up here or there and lose some games they shouldn't be? Maybe Valiant takes a match off them. But also, they're a strong enough roster. I think they can challenge the top three. I don't think they can beat Shanghai, but they can challenge the top three. We'll see what happens. I'm looking forward to seeing where the Philly Fusion can go from a middle of the back position. Which, by the way, also means they can potentially qualify into tournaments from here. So it's not the worst place they can be in.
Yep. True.
All right. Time to hear Yiska's thoughts on the Fusion, as he's without a doubt got Fusion in third. So go on. Let's have a look. Yiska.
Yeah.
Close out Fusion for us.
There we go.
What you've done here is you were supposed to put Chengdu in third.
We were supposed to have the perfect bracket.
If
Spotless.
you did that, all three of us would have had this exact same power ranking. But you decided to fuck it up by putting Chengdu in fifth.
Right.
So now you get to explain Fusion in third instead of in fourth, where you should have put them.
Right. They have two tanks. You're saying
They have two tanks.
You're saying, wait, what? Why? I'm looking at this graphic Eric made, and there's only Fury. Yes, but people stream. So
So you're saying the age old confirm on Saint Vicious's stream.
No,
double lifts here.
No, I think they hired Sado as a maid. What?
As a prop.
I see.
Like, and what they did is they got a cardboard cutout of Sado and you got baited.
Yeah.
It's a red herring, Yiska.
No, the T1 office actually has a Coca-Cola fountain and it's leaking, and they somehow had to get that
the repairman.
No, they had to get the liquid out of it, so they just hired Sado as a pump.
I see.
right? No, but I mean, yeah. In essence, I think we would have had just about the same rankings. I just like happened to be looking at roster volatility based on economic realities of 2022. Once again, we're beaten by
Money.
it is legitimately
Team
sad,
money.
but I'm also 100% going to steal this for the stock exchange. As like now, legitimately, like stock market is important as it pertains to Overwatch. That is unfortunately true. It's
That's why I
actually
just looked at the Comcast stocks.
right.
They're down 11%. That makes, that's why.
Now, okay,
That's why they had to downsize the roster.
should I juice you up though? Because now it doesn't matter anymore. I'm not sure
Well,
how long.
You can't say, can I juice you up and then not do it?
Yeah.
So I guess
Okay,
you have
okay.
to.
Like, I'm not sure how much was internally known and how much that already impacts performance and whatnot, right? But Chengdu was bad, bro. They were doing
Really?
badly.
And
And that's not that unusual for Chengdu at this stage, but like apparently it was just not that good. So
So the whole money thing is a cover story. They just had bad players they need to get rid of. That's it. I get it.
I mean,
yeah.
just do it like everyone else
subscribe.
and just pretend people have injuries. That's what everyone else does, right?
True. My wrist, bro. My wrist.
My neck, my back. Okay.
We're trying to get monetized, bud. Come on. We're just trying to stay monetized. Not DMCA. It was in a game. It was in a video game. YouTube, please.
Yeah.
So
No.
anyway,
Yeah, but I think there's some legitimacy to me under ranking Chengdu, if not just to tilt Kenobi.
Fair. More than fair.
nothing
He's a
will tilt.
homer.
You can never tilt Kenobi more than the Chengdu org itself imploding.
True.
No matter what you try and do.
He's just a cheerleader.
Your juice is that Chengdu were kind of on the rocks already anyway. So.
Which, I mean, Yiska, is that like that? I mean, you kind of alluded to it, but like last year it was kind of samey, no? Like, did we not kind of hear like they weren't performing all that great?
Yeah, though I think that was more like the scrim meta than,
Okay.
How was Chengdu in stage 1?
They beat Shanghai.
They
did well,
Right.
no?
Yeah.
Didn't they go to Hawaii?
Yeah. They kind of didn't do great in Hawaii, but yeah, they went.
No, they did go to Hawaii, so they made top of APAC in stage 1.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe it doesn't mean that much for them.
I mean, it's interesting.
Yeah.
Definitely something to kind of take into note. Like, I'll put it this way. Like, just to caveat the Chengdu placement. Like, if the big question is, does leave? Is he stay or is he leave? Right? If he stay, we're good. We're Gucci. We're Gucci flip flops. Like, I don't want to change this. If he's leave,
the worst songs in the universe.
If leave is leave, right? Then yeah, I would probably mirror Yiska's ranking. You gotta go lower. Like it's a plummet. That's a big player to lose.
Yeah.
Bro, if they lose leave and 2 supports, I might put them below Guangzhou. Legitimately.
Damn.
Maybe even below Valiant.
Really? I mean, this is also like late stage, like loss. Like that's got to do something to you too.
Leave is so much of this team.
For sure.
Leave
Agree.
is so much of this team.
I'm a just
And
say
Hi, what's that?
the following. Halo liked a tweet where someone said, "I guarantee at least Leaf and Gaga are absolutely gone," and then he's doubled down and said, "Like Leaf has a lot of offers."
Of course he is. He fucking better.
Yeah, no shit.
Dude, if Leave doesn't have NA offers, I'm pissed off.
Yeah.
I'm fucking fuming if NA teams are so against picking up Chinese players they won't even get a fucking MVP.
Yeah.
Fuck
Like-
off with that shit. Come on. Motherfuckers will sign Speedly who can't play till
Right.
August,
Yeah.
but they won't get leave. Shut the fuck up. You know.
Yeah.
If you got money to
Anyway.
throw, get the boy an offer for sure.
True.
Anyway, I have Chengdu in third, based on me just pretending that nothing's going to happen, because I can't know what's going to happen. So I can't rate them. I can't rate them based on speculation. I have to rate them based on the pure fact that we don't know anything yet. So I'm just going to do it with pure ignorance and be like, yeah, well, they're just going to have everybody available and it's fine.
I just
I'm not stupid. I know it's not gonna be fine. I'm just like, I can't. If I was to rate them based on what is gonna happen speculatively, I'd have to fucking remove them from the ranking entirely. This would be a 6-team ranking, not a 7-team ranking, because it'd be impossible for me to rank them.
I mean, if I'm
just
going to
include them, I have to do it as I was going to do it, which is in third. I was always going to put them in third. I'm going to put them in third.
I'm just like running a little Fermi calculation where I'm just, relatively within one magnitude analyzing the impact of that atomic bomb. If you get this reference, you're well read.
Anybody who's in our YouTube chat or Reddit or Discord is definitely not well read. Let's be honest. This boy was huffing some metaverse robot sex bullshit, saw a tweet and dropped them in the power rankings. That's just what happened. No, I'll tell you that right now. Peek behind the curtain. Yes, it's me, the big green man in the Wizard of Oz. That's what happened. Okay. He saw a tweet. He said, Chengdu low.
Right. Yeah. I mean,
so yeah, I mean, right now, based on the 8 players that they have, this is a top 3 team. There's a gap between them and Fusion.
Yep.
Leave's still the MVP. I mean, he'd be the MVP whether he'd be on this team or not.
Sure.
And they've improved from last year by getting a Pritter on. Yeah, it looks good. Yeah, they probably would like to have one more tank, but maybe they just trust Gaga. Nothing I say matters because this team is going to blow up in the next week, so who cares? But based on the ignorance of what we have now, I mean,
just be thankful that it doesn't look like we actually talked about the power rankings. But me having that one team switch up.
Yeah, so I have them there. And now let's go to second place.
All in unison.
Seoul. Let's have a look.
Right?
Let's have a look at the Seoul.
Let's talk to Seoul.
Let's look at the
Talk
Seoul.
about Seoul. Yeah, go on. Yiska is your favorite. So again, let me just reiterate. We would have all 3 of us perfectly the same rankings.
Yeah.
If Yiska just stuck to the fucking script instead of going off road. Okay?
Yeah. Yeah.
You just had to. Do that.
I didn't think you especially Spark Stan Joe would have put Spark below Fusion. That's interesting.
Oh my god, bro! Like,
I have my first pick in the draft, Alpha Yi.
Alpha Yi's sick.
Come on.
It has nothing to do with the Spark and has everything to do with me building my team. My team won't be dog shit.
Well,
the Spark, I can't speak so much.
Well, how did that work out in the rankings, bitch?
I'm not standing for the populist argument.
Well, me neither. When it serves me, of course. Now,
exactly.
I mean, I felt a little spicy. I wanted to lie to myself and say they are better than than Shanghai. I really wanted to. I was, I did my rankings in the Fish Ghost thing, and I did the thing, the nervous chip flipping that poker players do on the table, where they flip poker chip. I was doing that with Shanghai and Seoul while doing the NA rankings. And I was like,
you were there heads up versus Shanghai, like, do I put Seoul all in or not? Do I put Seoul all in or not? I haven't seen the flop. I haven't seen the turn yet. I've only got the flop to work with. Fuck, what do I do?
And the thing is, I don't even know if I just feel Seoul is a lot worse than Shanghai, to be honest.
Yeah, no shit. That's no shame to Seoul. I think they're going to be a top 5 team in the fucking world. But Shanghai is just
most teams are a lot worse than Shanghai. That's like every team in the league. So it's not a hot take.
No.
Imagine you're
Like-
so good that you can add Bebe while also like just handing out food stamps to who are you and still remain like the unquestionable world number one.
Oh, man.
Because everyone just assumes Bebe won't play. Dude, at this point, they could fucking add Silver 3 and it wouldn't matter. Because we all know he
True.
wouldn't play. We all know he wouldn't play. So
Yep.
it doesn't matter. They could put me on the team as a fucking star, as a bench player, and it wouldn't matter.
Mhm.
Because I'm not going to play. So it actually doesn't matter who ends up on that team. As long as the core 5 or 6 members are there,
Yeah.
that's all that matters.
Did anyone on Chengdu play for Moon at some point at Team CC?
Ooh,
Far away,
I
maybe?
I actually forgot about Moon on CC. Let's try and we still have to talk about Seoul, guys. Just so
Yes.
we're
Yeah.
clear.
Yeah. Okay.
This is meant
I
to
got
be
a new
Seoul
toy.
conversation.
Yeah, he's toy fixated. Seoul in like top 3 DPS in the world. Like arguably the best DPS lineup in the world. I genuinely think you can make that argument. I have my reservations, like we said in the Seoul primer. Around Smurf, I'm willing to be surprised. I don't think like any kind of deficiency he may have is going to like be a liability for this team. But like when you're judging like these top teams, these are things that you kind of have to take into consideration. I think creative has a lot of upside, but like that upside is a little inconsistent. I don't think he's going to be a bad player by any stretch of the imagination. I don't want anybody to hijack this into thinking I'm a creative like hater. I just think he's going to be like a good above average flex support, and I think that's perfect for what Seoul is looking for because this is a DPS driven team, and it is like very clear that that's the case.
I think, unfortunately, by the way, Gaga and Faraway came in after, so
yeah,
Satch.
I'm looking now.
Hmm. Oh, did they?
Listed. Faraway's listed. Gaga's listed.
Oh.
What you're doing is you're looking at Christopher Nolan's old movies.
Yeah.
You're like, man, let me look at the IMDb. Who's in the cast? You're like, oh, Faraway and Gaga were extras in this movie for Moon. Oh, look at that. One of them was a background person driving a car, and the other person was reading a newspaper at the coffee stand. Oh, look at that, extras in this movie that Moon directed. That means technically they were in the movie.
Sure.
Anyway.
Dude, I can't shake the feeling of just like Bebe showing up at the facility, Moon standing there. Oh baby, oops, I did it again. I played with your heart, and then
was that one of your 80s
Faraway,
songs that you sang?
Yes.
Faraway just like runs past and just like, yeah, you know, what can I do? It's just the way it's got to be.
So the reason I have Seoul in second place is because I had to put Shanghai in first. What, it's not that deep. It's not that deep.
No, really isn't.
Is that
They're better than
acceptable?
Philly. They're gonna be better than
They're
Chengdu.
Definitely the best non-Shanghai team in APAC.
Yes.
I think.
Yes.
Even if Chengdu don't implode, I still think Seoul are the best non-Shanghai team in APAC, and clearly one of the best teams in the world. You can watch the team previews on Seoul if you want to hear more about it. I'm not just going to sit here repeating all of that, but you're here to listen to why I have them in second, and the legitimate reason is just because I can't put them above Shanghai. I just can't bring myself to do it.
No.
So it's really not that deep. It's not that deep.
Yeah. Yeah, these are the
Yep.
Saitama dragons, dude. It's almost like not really like that fun. I gotta say, okay, here.
Hang on, bring up Shanghai. Put it on the screen. First place Shanghai.
Right.
All right, now talk about them. Now you can talk about them officially.
The thing is, like, in terms of power rank, I love watching them play. In terms of talking about them in power rankings, is really not that interesting, right? Like, it's like you're basically like analyzing the golden pineapple. Just like you're playing for second place here, guys. Like, you're probably playing for second place globally here.
Yeah.
right? Like, yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe we got Dallas going closer. Maybe we can get some metas, but man,
Maybe.
no, it's okay. So here, what we're trying to do the reverse. Okay, we're going to Charlie Mungers. Let's come up with a situation through which the Shanghai Dragons aren't the best team in the world next year. So one, I think, is that Flatter drops off. I think that's a possibility.
Yeah, and then and Moon, and by the way, Moon already sees it. It's like, maybe Flitter drops off. I heard League was available. I think he's on the market.
Yeah, I mean that boy then would also
I'm
need to learn the language.
I'm interested in hiring some new actors. Any good actors out there I haven't used?
Man.
I like maybe I find that pretty that would be pretty surprising if I'm to be honest. Like I think it's not so much that he's gonna fall off. Like, and again, like folks at home, I've seen the YouTube comments. I get like we like Fleta and I'm right there with you. But like for me, if like there is a way in for these teams, like maybe it's Fleta not necessarily vibing with a like style of meta. Like I can understand how he would be able to play the field, but is he like the cutthroat playmaker that somebody like a Sparkle is? That somebody like a Proper
I got it. I figured it out.
I don't know.
We get into a Genji meta, and Fleta gets benched for Who Are You, and then it's just
that's
all
what I'm
downhill from there.
saying. Yeah, it's like that very. I don't think it's that crazy. Do I think it's gonna happen?
Then
No.
what happens is Who Are You's playing Genji. Fleta's sitting there on the bench thinking, fuck, maybe I'm not the meta, and then it just all goes downhill from there.
he gets his own like shadow, specter looming over him, whispering disparaging comments.
He starts listening to the voices.
Yeah,
and you can't let that happen. That's the path of progression right there. Yep. I would know. Shanghai. Yeah, look. Hey, they lost developing Molly though. Surely you got to have some negative points.
That's two less rings.
You lost 2 championship players.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
Hand out more championships, apparently.
Now, what if
Ring Factory Shanghai? Anyway.
For real.
What if leave to Dallas? Is that enough?
I already said that. Said that.
But is that enough?
What do you mean? Is that enough?
Enough to do what?
He's not gonna get there in time to play, you chuckle fuck.
No. But leaves good enough that he can arrive just in time for the grand final. Dallas versus Shanghai grand final. Leave finally.
That would be some crazy.
Finally arrives like, guys, I'm finally here. I don't speak a lick of Korean, but I'm finally here, and he just plays and wins the grand finals right then.
Straight off the plane, cue the music. He comes out with a steel chair. I mean, I'm here for it. If Hastro wants to toss him the bag and just, that would be sick. But I mean, like, and this sucks because like I'd like to talk about Shanghai, but like it feels like they're so far ahead. It's like, okay, if you had to make a Shanghai killer, if you had to like take 2 teams and like just smash them together and form like a super team to try and match where Shanghai is, it's like that's where we're at. That's what it feels like.
I got it.
Okay.
I figured it out. Russian Hanbin joins Seoul. Done.
Oh. That's pretty close.
Maybe bring Fielder too.
I'm cool with that. That's pretty close.
There's your Shanghai killer. It's like we're not doing Chris Nolan films anymore. This one's gonna be a Michael Bay one. Just get ready for it. Transformers: Revenge of the Fallen. That's the title, right? The second one.
Yeah.
When Optimus Prime, who to be honest is probably already strong enough to beat the big bad guy. I can't remember the name, but then he steals the jetpack from the old dude.
Yeah.
You know the one I'm talking about?
Yep.
The Blackbird.
Yep.
And I think it kills the guy too, which is kind of fucked up. Optimus. I'm not too sure about that. I think he kills the guy, steals his jetpack, and now he's even stronger. That's Dallas giving Rush Fielder and Harbin to Seoul to make the true Shanghai killer. Even though Seoul is technically already meant to be a Shanghai killer, they just have the jetpack now from the Blackbird on top of already being Optimus Prime.
Is there anybody that Seoul like could snatch in like the next 2 weeks that really shakes this up? I can't imagine there is, right?
Let me see who owns the Shanghai Dragons and who I need to short in order to make this happen.
Are we gonna see your burner account on GME?
I'm calling Zoms.
Short. All right. Let's, clearly, we don't have much to add for Shanghai here, except to say, look, the TLDR is the best team in the world.
Yeah.
They've brought back all 6 members from the championship roster, plus some bench players that will never see the light of day unless it's a Genji meta. And even then, Fletcher's Genji's fucking poggers anyway, so who even knows, man? Who even knows? Yeah, I mean, you simply have to give Shanghai the benefit of the doubt. They were just so much better than everyone else. So much better. So that's all there really is. Let's have a bit of a comparison between our 2 regions here. We've got top 3 teams from APAC, top 4 teams from NA. Are these the 7 best teams in the world? Obviously, with a little bit of controversy with me having Houston in there, but aside from that, and also Philly in 3rd for Yiska. But
yeah, that's
in context to your own rankings. Is this roughly the top 7 teams in the world?
I would say so.
I think I add one more NA team and get rid of Philly.
Okay.
Who's the 1A? Who? Houston?
Were they my
Who
fifth?
do you add?
Wait,
They have to be your 5th.
Were they?
They have to be your 5th because then you don't.
The
if
next
you,
up,
if it's not your 5th, then you don't have Houston in your top 5 if they're not.
No, it was Houston. Sorry, I was just confused. How many?
You think?
So you replace Philly. So you
better
replace
than
Philly with Houston.
Yeah, I think so.
I guess.
I see if Chengdu implode. I mean, they are imploding, but if they fully implode, they lose leave as well.
Yeah.
Then I guess I'm the same. You'd have to get rid of Chengdu and put in Atlanta for sure.
Sure. Yeah. Oh, that's tough. If Chengdu implode, who else do I move in? Let's see. I have my power rankings up. Seoul, Shanghai.
Put in the Mayhem. I mean,
he's about to say it.
No,
you might as
I
well put in
can't.
the Mayhem.
To be. I think it has to be Outlaws.
Inconsistent opinions. Can't believe you do
my
that.
what I had. Am I? Did I submit the wrong? Hold on. I feel like. Yeah, my Houston was above my Mayhem. It would have to be Houston. Houston would filter.
That's the thought police coming to collect you, Joe, for having inconsistent opinions. That's what that is.
Yeah.
What the Florida Mayhem hard cap for punching up is top 7 in the world. You're like, oh, that's as high as they can punch up.
I mean, that's insane already. Top 10 is still impressive. Like, I couldn't put them that high. Not with like Pelican and Dante and fucking Merit. Like, nah. Close, but
yeah. Eric says whoever gets leave is just instantly top 7 in the world.
No cap. The thing is, it's also very unlikely that a team that's not or currently on the screen is getting him. If we're being honest.
Yes, agreed. Like if the Valiant somehow snatch leave off the fucking free agency market, I'm sorry,
Valiant,
I just
bro,
can't.
NoHill.
Just the finesse of the century.
What is NoHill offering? It's beyond, let me tell you this. It's more than just money. He's putting on something. He's putting something on the table. It's more than just cash at that point.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, but it's more than just cash.
NoHill just currently sitting in his apartment drawing ugly apes on the paint.
I got these NFTs, man.
Ugly apes on paint. Give you all these NFTs, please.
Oh my god. He's ringing up his old pal Libero. Like, listen, I know you got some crypto laying in that couch. How about you spend your old pal NoHill some pocket change, like calling in some favors. Yeah, I can see it. I don't know.
Man,
I'm pretty sure Krusty's getting him. He's gonna shock. It's gonna be proper leave together.
Not.
He heard y'all talking shit about Sam and Kilo. He's like, "I fuck you. I'm getting proper leave."
That'd be insane.
what if Glads?
I already said that.
Sorry.
I mentioned that like last 2 episodes ago. I was
Okay.
like, bro, Glads, they're rich enough. They don't give a fuck.
I
They
mean,
just,
you're
they
not
do whatever
wrong.
they want.
What
know,
if, bro? They don't
they
even
just,
really
like-
care about that language barrier either, right?
No, they just they have
guess
the
not.
United Nations on their team. You know, they they got that Cronky money. They'll wait. They'll wait fucking 3 months to get a visa. They're all good.
Is this the new narrative of the preseason?
Dude,
Where
here we
does
go.
leave go?
This is how they speed up the visa process. They actually don't sign him to Gladiator. They sign him to the LA Rams, and then he'll get a visa. He'll get a visa instantly. That's what they'll do. And then they'll just transfer
Sure,
his
yeah.
contract from the Rams to the Gladiators, just like that. That's how
Him
they
and
do it.
Matt Stafford, best friends.
I'm just so surprised that so many people would try.
Really? Is that surprising to you?
Yeah, because like it's not like we're shitting money in this league, you know?
No, but that's a future like championship like potential move.
I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't know.
But
You're gonna boldface tell me that signing leave is not like tripling your chances of winning the league.
Leave about to learn a bunch of different new languages. Like,
Yeah.
which team, which language am I going to have to learn based on what team I'm joining?
Somebody get the man a Babbel sponsorship.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, perhaps, yeah. I think leave
Here's
is
a
one of those
6-figure
special
salary and a
cases.
Duolingo subscription.
Yeah, fuck it. That's what NoHill's got. He's like, listen, look, I know you're out of APAC next season, bud. So I got you this Babbel subscription. Me and Duolingo, we got some connections.
I got you some Rosetta Stone. I know you're gonna need this later.
Oh man. Oh fuck. It feels like the narrative is like, all right, where is he going? If he's leaving, where is he going? It feels like
It's in his name. It's in his name, bro.
It really is.
He ain't called stay. He's definitely leaving.
Okay.
He ain't called stay. He's
Okay,
gone.
give me your best shot. What do you think is the most likely team to get him?
Most likely.
Assuming he doesn't leave China and doesn't want to leave China, or it's too hard for him to leave China, I would say no cat. Moon might make a move on him. If not to bolster his own team, just to fuck every other
Take
team.
it away. Yeah.
Simply just to fuck any other team that might try.
Yeah.
Shanghai already operated out of Guangzhou. Lip wants to be his best friend anyway. Who are you doesn't care. He gets a free chip. He already knows he doesn't play. He's gonna get a free chip. He doesn't care.
Yeah.
They looked over at Seoul like, oh yeah, Seoul got this Prophet Fit Stalker trio. I might just get a Lip Flitter Leave trio. How about that? Huh? How about that? Let's do that. Guangzhou, if Guangzhou pull out some real cash, I could see him going to Guangzhou again, just down the street.
Yep.
Not literally, but figuratively
The
down the
office
street.
over.
And still gets to play on a Chinese team. Well, with a bit of English. Some reason I think the Chinese ones are more realistic just because of logistics.
Yeah.
Yep.
But
Agreed.
no, the crazy thing is, I could totally see Hastrope pulling out the bucks for it. I could totally see it. I could definitely see the Glads doing it. I could definitely see the Shock doing it.
Yeah.
Hey, they got that super salary money just waiting. Hey, somebody can get a look of it. Somebody can get a look.
They're not. That's true.
They ain't paying Kaluj that. Tell you that.
Yeah.
He's not getting that.
Maybe
So that money is just there somewhere.
maybe the deal is already done with Spark, and that's why they Billy lost 1.1 billion.
That's what the transfer fee costs, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
By the way, who yourself? Yeah,
Hey?
no. The thing is, like, there doesn't feel to be an obvious match in my mind.
It's a gamble.
Gamba.
And I don't think Philly. I think Philly is not one of the options. I'm going to be real with you. Seoul is obviously not one of the options.
Nope.
No.
Remove that. Oh, bro. Toronto is one of the options. Adam Adamu, he's rubbing his hands together like, ooh. I might have missed out on redacted player, but I ain't missing out on leave.
They got that kind of money though? I don't know.
Bro, the amount of money they've already spent, they might as well. You might as well keep going.
Bro.
I mean,
I bet they're making an offer.
yeah, no shit. Everybody in the
put one in
fucking
there.
uncle's making an offer.
bro, they'll put one in there. They'll put one in there.
It'd be dumb not to.
Yeah, Eric says overactive media just lost 15 million. Yeah, just that's probably what it cost to get leave. They've already lost 15 million.
Oh man.
Whoa. Go on, son. Go on.
Is it easier to get Canada visas?
No idea.
Probably.
No
not.
idea.
Well, maybe. I don't know.
Oh. I mean, although kind of, you know. But
He's already, although stuck in visa hell already, so maybe it's rough. I don't know. The visa thing should just make it too hard. The problem is, here's the workaround for the visa. You simply don't care how long it takes.
Yes.
You just know that when he arrives, he's going to be good. That's all you care about. It might take you months to get there, but when you know that when that time comes, you know, no one gives a shit about August and Speedly coming of age anymore because it's like, yeah, well, Leave can finally enter North America in August, so who cares about Speedly now?
Yep.
I'm committing. If Toronto gets leave, I'm a fan. I'm flipping
If
all
Toronto
my.
gets leave, you have to buy a Toronto jersey with Adam Adamu's name on the back.
I might.
I'll
Okay,
buy
I'm
one with
committing.
Leave's name on the back.
I'm
I'll buy one with
committing.
Leave's name on the back.
Jesus Christ! At that point, I'm a fan. How can you not be? That's a serious monetary commitment to excellence. I respect it at that point.
Oh man. I mean, that definitely bumps him up the rankings, but I don't know if I'm a fan.
They're instantly top 5, man. Are they not? Tell me they're not.
You still have to play the entire season.
I mean, yeah, that's kind of a problem.
They might be top 5 next season. I don't know.
After that point, Leaf is already washed. He's playing PUBG again.
Maybe, who knows?
By the way, is this completely out of the question that they're selling them one of those players to a Valorant team or something?
Shit, they might just not want to stay in Overwatch. They might just go like field an offer from a Valorant team. Like, why not? If
Oh, what are you talking about?
like,
What do you mean?
is it like that crazy to say like? I mean, it feels dumb, but like, is it that like outlandish to like? Maybe Leave has like some high-rated Valorant account on the China ladder, and like somebody just gives him an offer, and it's just nuts.
There's not really pro Valorant in China at the moment.
Okay.
Not.
Do they have Valorant
Maybe.
yet? I'm not even sure.
I think they do. It's only been like a couple competitions. It's not really taken off. It's not really. Well, it's still in the early stages, right?
Okay.
No. So legitimately, I think it's one of the other Chinese teams that are physically located in Guangzhou, or maybe Spark if Spark just bin 2 players, you know what, all 3.
Yeah.
Spark are like, if we cut Architect, Pineapple, and Alpha Yi and combine all 3 of their salaries, we can afford Leave. But at least then we get Leave Shy.
Yeah. Oh, Leave Shy.
Oh,
World Cup.
Spark could probably do that if they cut enough people. Actually, they have enough tanks. Cut 2 tanks.
Cut 2 tanks.
If you cut 2 tanks and 1 DPS, you can afford Leave.
Yeah.
There it is.
unironically,
They
should
got
do that instantly. Actually,
Yes.
cut 3 DPS, cut 1 tank, and also get far away.
You're not wrong.
Suddenly,
You're
top 3
not
team.
wrong. Yeah. They trade spots with Chengdu. They jump to third, and then
get Pagion back, and he never runs Leave.
Oh, stop.
Oh my god, that's the sickest monkey paw curl I've ever heard. Jesus Christ. Nah, Ray, get Ray in.
Pagion's just there like, well, Leave's not Korean. Why would I run him?
Insane. They get Ray.
Uh,
Now I'm buying a Spark jersey.
I think that's
I
a
don't know.
legitimate. Here's the thing: Spark have the fat to cut off.
Yeah.
That's a legitimate contender to get some players.
Yeah.
Because you could just start cutting off that, and boom, there's your budget. You don't have to get extra money. You're just reallocating what the budget that's already been applied.
Yep.
Right.
I think that's the
So
most likely.
actually makes a lot of fucking sense. Then the more I think about it, the more I think Spark is the most likely destination.
Yep. I agree.
You simply cut players, and then boom, leaves available.
Mm-hmm.
And
I like it.
The best part for a player like Leave is Spark already have a pretty competitive roster.
Mhm.
You know?
Yep.
So it's not like he's joining a shit team. He's just joining a questionable team. Sorry, a team with questionable questionable management staff.
Yeah.
So yeah, and he doesn't have to leave China, doesn't have to worry about logistics.
Nope.
Just has to move from Guangzhou to Hangzhou, which is whatever, it's fine. Yeah. No, I think Hangzhou is my number one destination for Leave.
Same.
Just based on all that. Okay. Cool. So I'm sure a bunch of teams will throw in an offer. Paris will probably throw in an offer just because, they threw an offer at Boko, just see what happens. Might as well throw in at Leave, see what happens. Like, it's just one of those things where, like, you want to ask the best looking girl to prom, and your chances are not great, but like, I'll just do it on a dash. Like, maybe if like
Play the
the other
math.
5 guys fell dead, would you take me? Maybe 50K. Maybe I'll just put it on there. Just see what. Just think about it. Just consider. Sleep on it. Leave. Maybe 50K. Think about it. That's just one of those ones.
Take it to the Eiffel Tower. Who knows? See if you like it.
But yeah, okay. So there's our rankings. We got there at the end of the day. Spent a bunch of time talking shit about where Leave could go. Apparently Gaga's now on the chopping block as well, according to new reports from Yiska Live on TCP. Based on who Halo likes. We're getting into some real hardcore investigation here. Like, who did Halo? What tweets did Halo like? Who did Halo?
Yeah,
follow recently? That's really interesting.
I'm fully hydration's momming. As Joe.
That is going to be episode 228. I think that's it. The next time you see us, we'll be talking about beta release. And then the episode after that, we're going to be previewing the opening matches. So thank you so much for being here. I still will probably do my own 1 to 20 global rankings. So I did my per region rankings here. I think I might look out for that. Follow me on Twitter. I'll probably do a stream around it. These guys might do some extra content as well. I know Yiska's got a whole Scrimbucks thingamabob coming up, so look out for that. The stock exchange will indeed be opening up at some point.
Yep.
So thanks for hanging out for another double hitter, TCP 228. See y'all next week or whenever for 229. Peace.